Greetings, Earthlings. Well, I hope that worked. Hopefully I'm going out live. Looks like it. The problem with not having a 5-minute startup is I haven't got time to check stuff, but that's okay. All right then, what are we doing today? Today we're saying hello to Michael and Chicago, who are both online and in the chat.
Greetings.
And Michael's also with us live as a disembodied voice from Canada. Now, today we are having a look at Marias Pass, specifically the High Iron Simulations Marias Pack Scenario Pack 01. What a grammatically correct name. Chicago.
As always.
Chicago wants stream keys. Surprise. Okay, what do you get in this thing? Look at this incredibly high technology thing I'm using. Notepad of all things. So there is a ES44DC vehicle train that is split into 3 parts. Getting some background noise from somewhere, like a TV or something. There's also a GE44-9W war bonnet. There is a unit grain train, parts 1 and 2. And there's a Hello Ferramero. And there's a crude oil train hauled by an ES44DC.
Sorry.
Ah, cool. At least we know where it's coming from. We also have Amtrak Train 8, the Empire Builder. There's a Shelby Switcher. And there's a BNSF piggyback and container train. Now, I'm going to stick these in the chat because if you're thinking about having this route... Good morning, Aidan Ferromero. If you're thinking... Sorry, not thinking about having this... Oh, it's too long. Okay. Let me cut it in half. You'd think the person who owned the chat could put in something that was longer, wouldn't you? Alright. You need all that stuff to run this scenario pack. And what was relatively funny doing my dutiful disclosure cause is that, yes, Dovetail did in fact give me this for a freebie. But then I went and had to go and buy all the other bits. Life is like that. Now I want to start up the Marias Pass radio stream and take the risk of copyright issues, but I can't find it. Where is it? Good day. There it is. Found it. Okay, so we will be hearing some live radio. At least I hope we will. Did I press play on that? No, it's already going. Good. We should hear some live radio at some point during this run. From the real network. There we go. All right, so if we have a quick look in here, the ones that come in the pack have MP and a number with them. So there's this one, which is the war bonnet. The war bonnet's a pretty old locomotive. It's in the very cheap category. And then there's the Shelby Switcher, which is also from one of the old packs. So it's one of the older locomotives to run. Then we have the vehicle train we talked about, which is from the newer bits and pieces. So this one's more fun to drive. We have MP107, also an ES44. We have the new Empire Builder. So there's the old Empire Builder that came with the route, part 1 and 2, and there's the new Empire Builder, Amtrak Train 8. So this is the one we'll be running this morning, perhaps with something else as well. I am on a time limit today because it is Orthodox Easter, and I have to go out with the family because it's the annual day of spinning meat. Ferromero is running RW Enhancer 2, which made his game look really pretty, and he got the improved audio and PIS system and loves it. Can't believe he hasn't been using this sooner. There you go. Michael has to disappear for a moment. That's cool. Chicago is happy that I'm finally doing his favourite route. Yes, Marias Pass serves quite a few other things as well. Anyway, let's get this started. So we're going to run the Amtrak today. And the reason that I have picked the Amtrak in particular is really simple. Everybody else who streams Marias Pass goes for the hours and hours and hours of freight. So I thought it'd be a little bit different. That way people get the opportunity, they can watch this stream and they can see things like Amtrak, and they can watch other streams where they can see things like freight and get a good picture, overall picture. While that's loading, Marias Pass was part of the original Great Northern Railway. Jeez, the game is loud. Turned it down for me. Let me know if it's too loud for you guys as well, and I'll turn it down for you too. Marias Pass is in the centre of this map, or centre left, and is part of the Rocky Mountains, and it's part of the route from Chicago to Portland and Seattle. I'll explain that in a bit. Alright, I need to board our passengers and await clearance from the conductor. Very good. Let's turn on the HUD so at least I know when it's doing that. Bit of cab light would help. Alright, let's put on... Is this one of the ones that doesn't believe the rail driver? Looks like it. No rail driver. What? Ah, no. Oh, I know what's happening here. Ha. Be right back with you. Hang on a tick. I don't know if you can still hear me when I'm on the Be Right Back screen, but I'm a dummy. I forgot to launch the actual software that runs the rail driver. So I've just done that. And I'll start train sim again. And hopefully this time it'll work. My apologies. And back. So hopefully this time it'll be a little bit better. Okay. Let's pop back in here again. And we want Marias Pass. And we want Amtrak Train 8 and the Empire Builder. And start. Yeah, thank you, Ferramaro. Yep, finally reached 500. Yay! That'll let me bug you guys with community posts. Alright. We are loading our little people. Now, do the switches work now? No, it still doesn't work with Rail Driver. Why not? Was a bit crap. Anyway, let's make the best of it. I'll have to do it by hand. What a horrible thing. That's okay. I believe the alerter in this one is on by default. I don't have to turn on any of those things. Turn on the headlights. I don't think I can do anything like brake cutting or anything like that in TS, so we should be good there. Should be all I have to do, really, apart from put the reverser in forward. Which we will... Oh, it's already in forward. Okay, we'll be doing keyboard for everything today. I'm going to try and remember all the keys now. Let's have a look outside. Oh, apparently everybody's on board, but let's have a look, because these are the 50th anniversary edition Amtraks. Now this train has 2 locomotives from Chicago until it reaches Spokane. And at Spokane, it splits into 2 trains, and part of the train goes to Portland and part of the train goes to Seattle. So that's our auto train, I think, has just cleared the east end of Belton, subject to signal indications you are clear to proceed eastbound. Aren't we lucky? We're allowed to go. And there's our train there, with piggybacks and stuff on it. Alright, now for the fun bit. Remembering keyboard commands. Yay! Brakes off. And just catching up with the chat. If I haven't said hello to everybody, it's hello Michael, who's ducked out anyway. Hello Ferromero. Hello Aiden. Hello Chicago. Who else have we got? That looks like it for the moment. Ferromero loves the 50-year anniversary skins, as do I. I quite enjoy them too. They're quite nice. And can I open the engineer's window? I guess so. If it supports it, looks like it does. If I can get the mouse in the right place. How's that? There you go. Just took my head out. Whoop, wrong way. No, this loco doesn't support head out by the look of it. That's okay. What else have we got? Chicago says Chicago is where he lives. That's why you're called Chicago. Instead of taking the former CB&Q NPG NUS, it now takes the former Milwaukee, now CP, instead via Metro's Milwaukee District North Line. I imagine it probably does. And 161 has an e-bell. Is one of these 161? It is. You want to try it? Doesn't sound very e-belly to me. It sounds mechanical. Have to do the horn while we're out here. Ooh, flashy. So today we're travelling through part of the Rocky Mountains. We get to see the Cascades. I think it's part of the foothills of the Cascades too, if I remember rightly, maybe. The old Shift 2. Ah! Thank you, Ferramera. Is it Shift 1 to go back inside? Nah, just 1. Okay, good-o. And fun things. So we're travelling through Montana. Just got to slow down a little bit because we are speeding. And we're going to get penalised if I do something about it. There we go. Because I'm naughty. And if I don't do something about it, it would have made me stop. I think it's going to make me stop anyway, actually. Let's see if it lets me power up again. Oh, it's looking promising. It's making noise anyway. And all my little displays are saying things. Yes, we are powering up again. Good-o. Do you know, these things are hard to drive with the keyboard. It's kind of sad. Because I want to look outside. Because it's cool. World's shortest tunnel. Now, I'm glad you're liking the RW Enhance Ferramera. I love it. I don't know what DTG think of me running it as an ambassador. I've never actually asked. Probably shouldn't, because I might get an answer I don't like. So I won't. That just occurred to me. Anyway, yeah, I really like what it does. It really changes the game. Doesn't quite bring it to TSW2 quality. Speeding again. I'm so naughty. I should probably just leave it powering and brake at the same time, shouldn't I? Or I should just keep a bit of an eye on it. Seems to be stabilizing. Yep, good. Interestingly enough, Montana, whenever I think of Montana, I think of lots of grassy plains. I don't really think about mountains. But it has got plenty of mountains as well. And a good friend of mine sent me some pictures of her trip to Glacier National Park last year, and I have to say, it's now on my list. It is beautiful. Chicago, they don't run bells in tunnels. Just run over the hobos. Do you get the impression these locos are a little overpowered for this train? Just a little. There's a workman. Hello, workman. What they do with Tunnel Chicago is this. They honk the horn. Ferramera says he's only tried it out on passenger runs. The only thing I was wondering if you had to launch the RW Enhanced program while playing TS to get nice graphics or not. I think you have to launch it before... no, you launch it to set it up and it embeds itself in TS. You don't have to do anything after that. Or at least the version I run does. I'm not sure about the 2 version. It's a longer tunnel, this one. Would you like me to read you the Amtrak rules, Chicago? It'll take a while. There's a lot of them. Ooh, I like what's happening with the headlight there. Nice flare. The photographer in me likes that. There's our highway running up above us there. As we travel along the river, I think it's the Flathead River. And the route follows this river most of the way. Nice snowy landscape. My microphone's miles away. I was probably horribly quiet. At Nyaku route via Main 1 to overtake BNSF HGRFPAS. Lead unit 7389. You'll be crossed back to Main 2 at Red Eagle to make your station stop at Essex. You'll again cross over to Main 1 and hold that main as far as Java single track. Dispatcher out. Thank you, Dispatcher. Let's have a quick look on the map and see where all that happens. So we got a long way to go yet before we do that, because that's all the way up there. Good-o. We should just continue our cruise. While we enjoy the landscape. So Marias Pass is part of the BNSF Highline Division these days. And it was established by the Great Northern Railway. Spot the railway company that had English routes, perhaps. And the guy who is remembered and credited for finding Marias Pass was a guy named John F. Stevens, which I find remarkably funny because it completely ignores the fact that the Native Americans, the Blackfoot tribe, I believe, used Marias Pass for centuries. It was one of their trading routes. And out of the 5 exhibitions that set out to find Marias Pass, only one of them did. The last one, funnily enough. And that was the one that took members of the tribe with them to show them where it was. So they didn't find it at all. They were shown where it was. Oh well. That's okay. It'd be cool to get these locos and carriages into TSW2. I hold out hopes because there's multiple routes in TSW2 that Amtrak could run on. And I would love one day to see a DLC that actually takes advantage of them and brings them out as scenario pack. And through the wonderful world of layering, maybe we can get a scenario pack going across multiple routes. That would be even better. Catching up with the chat again. Chicago says that James J. Hill was named Empire Builder after a lot of determination efforts. What did he actually do, Chicago? probably getting a little bit close to that. Yeah, we are getting a little bit close to that point, but we're going on main 1, so I assume that means we're not diverging. Good luck to those people getting out of that snowy field there. Oh, we're coming up on the place where he's diverting, but no sign of our friend. And we're staying on this track, which is nice. No, it does look like a road coming. I was wondering why they had whistleboards up. Oh, it's a shame the compressed air sound is louder than the horn outside. That's a bummer. I'm a bit hesitant about speeding up because I know we're meeting someone here. Hello, Metro North Railroad Productions. How are you? Welcome to the stream. We're currently tooling through Marias Pass on the Amtrak Empire Builder, train number 8. And we are meeting another train here, which is why I'm not madly accelerating. Because I don't know if we'll get to the other end of the siding and it be here or not. So I'm just being a bit cautious. Glad that you're well. Happy Orthodox Easter for those who celebrate it, or in my case, suffer it. I know it as the National Day of Spinning Meat. I have Greek relatives, and that's where I'll be after this stream. We have a very nice family day. Just have a look at the map and see where that train actually is. Oh no, he's off our track and we just go straight through, so that's fine. Yep, looks like we just keep on going, so I can... Oops. We are changing tracks after we meet him, though. By looks, I think. Yeah, we are. We're crossing over onto the other track, so... I'll accelerate a bit, because we've got a while to go. There he is up there. Most of the traffic on this route is heavy freight. It's mostly under the BNSF branding, although others do use it occasionally. And Ferramaro says his dad and he both took a ride on the Empire Builder a few years ago. We went from Portland to Chicago, and it was a beautiful ride. Yeah, I haven't done the Empire Builder. It would be a cool one to ride, I think. So I'm glad you had the opportunity to have a go at it. This is probably a good time to do it, actually, if you're in the US. Because normally it gets about 400,000 to 500,000 people per year riding it. And because of all of the things that have happened in the last couple of years, that's down to about 200,000. He's our friend. I'm just powering off because we have to change tracks shortly. So he's got covered hoppers and gondolas. Those look like centre sill cars full of wood. Wow, we change over really close to his train. It's a good thing he's starting to leave. Sorry, I got distracted by the shiny things. Nice water. I like good water in a game. It's good. Looks like we're crossing under a highway here. What have we got? Big road or a little road? No, it's only a little road. We're starting to go up gradient a little. I think that other freight's actually going the same direction we are. I think he's going to follow us. I'm starting to get into the windy bit and starting to climb now. Which means I have to slow down. Not that it takes much to slow down when you've got gravity on your side. But for this train, we are ridiculously overpowered. To the point that it'll be hard to maintain speed, I think. But that's okay. How many days did it take you to get from Chicago to Portland? And I have been to Portland. Because I think there are 27 Portlands in America. And I have visited, I think, if I remember rightly, about 15 or 16 of them. It was a silly quest I went on once. My two favourite Portlands are Portland in Washington State and Portland in Indiana. Portland, Indiana is the home to the Tri-State Engine and Tractor Society, who to this day I am still a member of. And they put on an excellent engine and tractor show. It's quite big, but it's not massive so that it takes forever. But it takes you probably 2 days to see all the engines, another 2 days to see all the tractors. And if you're going through the market, that probably takes a good 4 or 5 days to get through all of that. So it is pretty big. And thank you, Metro North. It's been a bit of a journey to get here. But here we are. 48 hours. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Did you go with a sleeper or did you sit up? So what do you guys think of the steam particle emissions debate that's happening on the forums? My personal take is that there's a lot of people who have seen a steam engine, and perhaps one, or perhaps they've seen them in videos, and in videos they nearly always put on a bit of a show. Because depending on the weather, current condition of the fire, the current heat of the engine itself, which means how long has it been working and how hard it has been working, And the quality of the coal, the skills of the person doing the firing, it's they look quite different in different conditions. I'm glad I've got the HUD on, because I can't hear the alerter. It must just be that these locomotives don't support the rail driver, because it's actually showing my speed, which means it is talking to TrainSim. Strange. But that's okay. We'll just use the keyboard, even though it's been annoying. I'm glad you had a sleeper, Ferramero. I used to regularly commute between Melbourne and Sydney, which is an overnight trip. I always got a sleeper for that. It was quite nice. Ooh, hello there. I'm guessing that other train will be waiting back there for this oil train to come down too. Or it could be oil or ethanol. Looks messy, it's probably oil. Ah, they have a buffer car. Awesome. That's good to see. I haven't done a long train trip for a while. I think next time I do it, I'll probably make a video about it, because, you know, it's me. Give it a bit more grunt now. Oh, you can certainly get sleeper beds on the true long-distance planes. The flights from Australia have sleeper beds. Very expensive, though. A normal ticket for us is generally anywhere between about 1,300 Australian dollars up to about 2,000 Australian dollars to get from Australia to America, depending on the airline and the time you're trying to fly. But if you want one of the sleeper bed ones, the minimum you'll be paying is about $15,000. And it's just not worth it. I popped back into the cab because I thought this was a road crossing, but it's not. And we have slow bit coming up. That's So we're crossing back to the other side again. May as well let gravity take care of that. If you're really lucky and the flight's not horribly crowded and you can get 3 seats, you can lie down and go to sleep in economy. I've done that quite a few times. Isn't that funny? All those people make... Let's go back in. All those people make fun of Rivet for tinting their screens. And look, tinted. Definitely tinted. Coming up to the spot that we're going to be crossing over onto the other line shortly. As warned by our dispatcher a little while ago. You know, it's kind of funny that I started the Whitefish radio. Yesterday it was chatting away non-stop. Now there's nothing. Sounded like they actually had a derailment in the yard at Whitefish yesterday. That's probably why they were chatting so much. They had one in Altoona yard a few days ago too. They had to get helpers in to pull trains that were banked up around Altoona back up to MG so they could clear the track to get in and deal with the derailment. So there was a whistleboard. Where's the road crossing? This piddly little thing. Gah, it's hardly worth it. Scared all the deer for nothing. There's our silent alerter again. Should be safe enough to speed up now. Watch our train pop out into the sun. We're not going to see it long, but that's kind of nice. Getting illuminated by the early morning sun. Where is the sun? Up there by the mountains. Next tunnel, please. If I remember rightly, we're about 10 to 15 miles away from the next pass through the mountains, which is Cutbank. And that's a lot higher. I think this one's 5,000 and something feet, so about 1,500 metres. And that one's about 7,000 feet, if I remember rightly. Being naughty again. Ah, good plan, Faramara. I just finished my cup of coffee. I will now start on my cup of tea. My coffee is evil espresso. So I basically had this mug that was completely full of espresso. What did I do then that made it quiet? Uh-oh. What have I done? What have I done? I can't see the chat anymore. I think I'm still live. Am I still live? I've done something bad. Uh-oh. How do I get the chat back? I closed the chat. I'm doomed. I know what I'll do. There you go. I'll watch the chat on my phone. Fixed. Yeah. Put that up there. Hopefully its battery lasts long enough so I can see the chat again. Somehow I closed it on YouTube. I'm not quite sure what I did. And I can't see how to get it back. Uh-oh. Am I still live? I'm not sure. I think I'm live. Yay, I've got the chat back. Thank you, Alerta. I think I'm still live. Looks like it. I'm not quite sure what I did then. But I've also lost all the game sound. I've got clacky track sounds, but no engine sounds. Oh no, they're back. I don't know what happened then. That was weird. Yeah, there's almost no engine sound when you're in the cab at the moment. But I can hear it outside. Let's stay outside. It's nicer anyway. You can see the sunlight through the trees. And Chicago is playing Peninsula Corridor while doing this stream. Very good. The electrification of that's almost finished. And a couple of weeks ago they got their first train, and I think they got their second one this week. Crossing over to the other side. Do you know what? I vaguely think I've actually shut down one of my engines. Because I'm putting on lots of power and I'm slowing down. And here's the guy we're meeting. It says I'm making power. It says I'm making 400 amps, but I don't think I've got any brakes on, have I? No? Something's happening. No, my number of amps doesn't go up when I increase my notches. I think something bad's happened. I have engine sounds. Look, making power. Yay! How did I turn it off? Somehow I turned it off and killed chat at the same time. I don't know how I did that. Weird. Oh well. Think of it this way, now we get to hear it work hard. Or not. Has Rail Driver started to work? Rail Driver started to work. Well, bugger me. That's just strange. Bye-bye, Mr. BNSF. I shouldn't assume Mr., should I? Could be anyone. Why do we all think that freight trains are masculine and passenger trains are feminine? I always noticed that. Hello, Neil TV8. Welcome. How are you? You just missed me having some self-induced dramas where I somehow managed to shut down my train, kill the YouTube chat, and resurrect my rail driver all in one go. Not really quite sure how any of it happened, but, you know, whatever. I can't work my hands around. You can't see them. Oh, well. So what are you up to? I guess it's evening for you, Neil TV8. What are you up to this evening? We're currently trundling along in the Empire Builder train number 8 through Marias Pass. You're doing a coal service in Clinchfield. Magnificent. I like Clinchfield. I like the way the route feels. And you have to work for your money. Off you go, Chicago. Give it a thrash. That's a nice view, isn't it? It's relatively realistic. There's that silent alerter again. Is there a passenger view on this? Oh, there is. I like the ones with a passenger view. Can we see anybody else in here with us? Ooh, there's a serial killer. Hello, serial killer. How are you? You just sit there. Mind your own business. Told you to sit there. Looks like we're cutting over again. Better come back up here and deal with that. Oh, it didn't register my brake release. No wonder it's still slowing down. Yeah, I suppose that is the one downside of trains, Ferramero. If there's someone creepy on the train, you're with them for a few days, not a few hours. Yeah, we're all on the same track now. Is that better than a basic approach, Chicago? It's an advanced approach. Must be more expensive. It's like a scenario that I played the other day. There's 2 copies of the same scenario in the game. It's on the Bonina route. And one of them's called the advanced one. And when you play the non-advanced one, it's during the day. And when you play the advanced one, it's in the dark. Pitch dark. It makes it just a little harder to play. Just a little. This really is quite the landscape we're in, isn't it? It's quite big. Nice. Better go back to the train though. Yay, finally the radio wakes up. We're supposed to stop here at Essex, aren't we?
And I'm back.
Hello, Michael. Welcome back. We're just pulling into Essex. A station that I brake too enthusiastically for, completely forgetting about gravity. I forget about gravity sometimes. I just float right off the planet. Now, as long as it's not the baggage car that stops in the platform, I'll be happy. Don't be the baggage car. Don't be the baggage car. Yay, it's not the baggage car. There's something horrific going on with the track bed there. Alright, we can board our passengers here at Essex, and while we're waiting for them to board, we're going to come back down here. We're going to come and look at this little loco. Let's go fast. It's too slow getting bored. Because there's a loco down here. It looks remarkably like one of your friends, Chicago. All aboard and doors clear. Next stop, Glacier Park. On the little heritage railway I work on, we have a guy that we all think's really funny because, you know, he's watched a few American train videos where they yell out, "Whoa!" So he does that on our trains. Everybody wants to kind of smack him. But no one does because we're way too nice. into the snow sheds. And there's enough of a gradient to have to look after it, and not enough of a gradient to actually work. I like the concept of snow sheds. We don't have anything like this here. We don't need them. Because we don't have much snow. Although we will get to see what climate change brings, won't we? I guess. Because I believe this year we've had more water fall on the east coast of Australia than the last 10 years combined. That's a real defect detector on BNSF at Whitefish. With 30 to come, so I'll bring my speed down. You missed all the fun, Michael. I somehow managed to turn off YouTube chat, shut down my locomotive, and make the rail driver work. Don't know what happened, but whatever happened, happened.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Are we crossing back over or something up here? No, it's just low speed. Now we're going to come back onto the main, but I wouldn't have thought we would have to cross over. Ah, bridge. Bridge pawn. Something I did the other day that would no doubt amuse people. You noticed the little photo screenshot button is remarkably close to the uncouple button. Speeding. God. You worry too much, train. I'm going to keep my mouse away from that. Because maybe that's what happened. Maybe I clicked that. Now I don't have a concurrent view count on my stream anymore. Sigh. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? But I started the stream up on my phone and I can see that that is still going, so that's okay. So hopefully you're all still there.
Yep, still here.
Yay! Well, that's one of you. the other fun that we've been having here the last few days, we have a
Everyone else in the chat's going, what?
yeah, we have a Google Mesh network. I'm not even sure if the chat's still working. I haven't seen anything for a while, but we have a Google Mesh network, and there's been a bug. Oh yeah, Faramaro's still there. Good go, still working. We have a Google Mesh network, and there's been a bug that's been affecting lots of users of the Google Mesh network, but not us until this week. And I have to say, it gets just a tad exciting when it happens. The network thinks it's gone offline, but it actually hasn't. Anybody else notice you can see through the carriages? That's funny. Welcome to Java East, where all good coffee comes from. Am I being naughty again? Yes, I am. Gravity will fix it. So when you don't have the HUD on, you don't know you're being naughty, and you feel so much better. Because I'd quite happily rip through here at 50 mile an hour, but, you know. Don't worry about scores too much. I completely amused myself yesterday. I had two light engines and I was doing some shunting, and I took them through a set of points so fast that one rolled all the way to the right and its left wheels came off the track, and the other one got forced all the way to the left and its right wheels came off the track, and they just nicely cancelled each other out and settled back onto the track after the points. But yeah, it's perfect, really. I was just practicing the concept of a trying to do a shunting speed run. to see how fast you could actually do it and still succeed. Not sure if I'll make a video of it or not, but come on, Gravity, you need to suck harder. Oh, I can do one of those cool meat moments. If I don't hit the shelter. This would be a cool one to record, actually. Led by CN. You know, I'm tipping that AI train's going a little faster than 30. Just say it. Spot the recording that'll turn up in a future promo video. It's usually what I'm doing when I turn off my head. Ferramero turned the career scoring off in the game. You can't bear looking at a negative score of minus 20,000 at the end of a scenario. It still follows the speeds and whatnot for the most part. Yeah, I just ignore it. But yeah, I get what you mean. It doesn't feel really rewarding to get a big negative score. Someone turned off the sun. Empty, 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 empty. Why are we stopping? Why did we stop? Weird. Did I not acknowledge an alerter or something? Because we're not stopped, we have no brakes on, we're not rolling. We're making revs. What's going on? Oh, look at the brake handle. It was in emergency. Well, this might take a little while to pump up. Why was my brake handle in emergency? It's the day of gremlins.
Your brakes are in emergency.
Yes, they were. It's always funny when you're 20 seconds late, advice rolls in, Michael. Unfortunately, I have to run the stream in 20-second delay or it won't let me run in 2K. The only way I can do it quick is run it in 1080. And we are almost pumped up and we should start moving. Oops, no, we won't, because we're also not in forwards. Now we'll start moving. Now we'll start moving. Now we'll start moving. Or not. Or yes. Yes. Well, the front's moving. There we go. Yeah, I think Ferramero it must have happened when I had the hard off. Because unfortunately you can't hear it. It's alright, the passenger's got a nice unscheduled view of the mountains. Ooh, outside the world. Come on, I'll do that again. It's not going to let me outside the world properly anymore. It's always interesting as you go through valleys, how it's sunny and then dark, and then sunny and then dark. I really like that light flare. I think it's cool. I wonder if an avalanche has ever fallen on the train through here. Is that why they have the snow sheds? To stop it happening again? Because it's a fair way up there. That was poorly timed. Jump in for a passenger view and get a wall. Now I'm inside a concrete block. Excellent. It's good to know that whoever built this textured the inside of the concrete block as well. It's nice of them, really. Sigh. This time the alerter... Did the alerter even come up on the HUD, or did I just not see it? Pump it up, little loco. Just get a little bit of power on so we don't start rolling when it does pump up. Yes, Ferramaro is saying the alerter. He's obviously paying more attention than I am. But that's what it's for. It's to catch the guy that's not paying attention. And go, oi! just wait for the back of the train to come up as well.
Glad somebody is.
Oh, you wouldn't have to pay attention in mountain railroading, would you? You just set it in cruise control and go for a sleep. And this is the one place where you really wouldn't want to make too much noise too. You might get snow on your head. Thank you, Verimero. I absolutely appreciate the effort. Back out in the sun now. This is where the engineer dispatcher got a little bit of a problem. The machine between the chair and the controls is having some issues this morning. You need a better qualified monkey to run things. I love the way the game engine just goes between on and off for the sun. It's like, sunlight. No sunlight. Saw it that time. It's the one problem of not having the Xbox controller plugged in, thinking about it. Because when you've got the Xbox controller plugged in, the little vibration motor in it goes when the alerter goes off.
Would have said something, but it would have been way too late.
Yep, a little. But I have learnt that it's not such a good idea to have the Xbox controller and the rail driver both plugged in together. It confuses TS a little bit. Ooh. I quite like this scenario. They put a lot of trains in it. It's the level of trains that I try to aim for when I'm building scenarios, and because I push things quite hard, I often blow up the game engine.
Yeah, Gary does a good job.
Does. He probably has the same problems I do when he blows things up, because he makes it work too hard. Interestingly enough, you don't see it in the video, that I don't know if you know, but I'm being featured on the railsimulator.com Railfan TV channel, which is the usual streaming channel for Dovetail, on English Monday, my Tuesday, very early in the morning for me. And making that scenario I push things as hard as you can without using the unofficial editor, and I did actually break TSW. I had to change my scenario so that it would actually play and not explode. When I originally talked to JD about the idea, I won't go too much into what I'm doing on it, but because I want it to be fresh. But when I spoke to JD about the idea, I estimated to him about 10 hours. And it turned out to be nearly 20. And a very grumpy wife. Because to get that extra 10 hours, it had to come from somewhere. We're now approaching Blacktail. So I hope to see everybody in the Dovetail Train Simulator channel on what is Tuesday morning for me, because I'll be getting up at 5 a.m. so I can be in the chat. I'll probably get up a little bit before 5 a.m. so that I've got my computer up and running. Few stray gondolas probably left here for a hotbox. Just so you can see the gondolas again. In fact, look at that. You haven't seen that branding for a while. People forget what BNSF stands for. And I always love that they are a railway, unlike everybody else in America who goes railroad. BNSF, railway. In fact, the original railway here was the Great Northern Railway too. It wasn't Great Northern Railroad. The GNR. So I always kind of wondered, when did it make the transition from the popular terminology being railway in America to becoming railroad? And why did it happen? Never been able to find that out, but I'm sure there's an answer. That's almost a complete horseshoe, isn't it? In fact, it kind of is. It'll be interesting to get Marias in TSW2 at some point.
Yeah, it would be cool. Even Stevens Pass, Canadian Mountains Pass.
Whenever I can get to a point where I can see the train and the mountains. Oops, up. Oh, there it is. Go this way. I was just thinking I really shouldn't do that because the alerter will go off. And I won't see it and we'll stop. How many miles are we from our destination? Good question. Let's have a look. Time now is 9:30. Given we get to Glacier Park Station, which is our final at 9:47, probably not very many, I'm guessing. Not many at all. Probably about 20. I tried making a copy of one of these scenarios and changing it with TS Tools to change the locomotive, because I know that Chicago keeps asking me to run Steam through here, which I will, but it's a lot of effort to build a scenario for it. And I was hoping I could just copy one of these and change the loco, but no. And then I tried copying one and just putting the cab forward on the front of the diesels. No, it didn't like that either. Just caught fire, fell over and sank into the swamp. So I'm going to have to build them from scratch. Not far from Summit, and then we'll start heading downhill towards Glacier Park Station. Really? Arrow keys just seem to scroll. Now, with it looking this nice in an old game engine, you can imagine how it would look in Unreal, but you can also imagine how it would look in reality. It'd be awesome. It's easy enough to set up a scenario with one train in it just to run a steam train through here, but you need all the other trains to go with it. You need lots and lots of traffic. I'm never happy with the scenario until there's lots of traffic. And the only challenge with building a big scenario is by the time you've tested it properly and driven it 25 times, you end up being totally unexcited about the scenario. Well, let's give that a crack. Ferromero's just said, use the task menu. There you go. Summit, Maine is 3.43 miles away. And we've got a message. BNSF local Lmon 8221 lead unit 2351 is in the siding at Summit. Subject to signal indications, you can expect to remain on the move. Dispatcher out. Unlike the real BNSF, which would delay us. And then we've got this one, where is... There we go. So that's 8.95 miles away. And Glacier Park Station is 14.9 miles away. There you go, Ferramaro. Thank you for teaching me something. Excellent. I had never really thought to do that. Chicago's in Redwood City. You should go to Fry's. Mind you, Fry's used to be really cool. When I lived in the US, it was the place to go to get your computer stuff and your electronics and other things. But these days, it's just turned into a box store and it's not very exciting anymore. Used to be really cool. It's solely catered to the enthusiast. And they were very, very helpful to the enthusiasts that hadn't made a lot of things. And I have a faint suspicion Michael can see his cat.
Sorry, I thought I muted that.
That's funny. My cats turn up in the stream occasionally. Yeah, Ferramaro says that we're getting quite close to the end. I think I got the alerter in time. Still powering, so I'm guessing so. Ferramaro says he's been playing TS for quite a while and kind of figured out all the quirks and features of the game over time. Or over time, I guess, not over time. But, yeah. I've been playing it for donkeys, but, yeah, there's still things you pick up. Things that you've never really thought of to do. If I just power off just a little. No, not that much. And you can talk to chair for a moment. Just whack the alerter button to be safe. But I think this is when I started playing Train Simulator. Is it going to show it to you? There we go. Yes, no, yes, no, maybe. There we go. That's my original Rail Simulator DVD. And I have a license dated 2008. No, that's copyright 2008. No, 2008. Tuesday, November the 25th, 2008. And apparently I ordered it, and this is amusing, at 2:56 and 15 seconds AM. What was I doing up at nearly 3 o'clock in the morning buying a copy of Rail Simulator? And that was back when it was on EA. Before the big split. Before they went off and did their own thing. When did this game actually come out? Ooh, something weird happened there. So I don't think it was 2008, although it might have been. I don't think so. We're coming up on Summit shortly. I used to play MSTS a lot. And there was a game I played on a friend's Amiga. But I can't for the life of me remember what that was called, and neither can he. We're now officially in Marias. In fact, you know what? Oh no, he's just standing on a siding. I thought maybe that was another loco sitting there and we'd go and explore it, but no, it's just a siding. It's just two locos sitting there. Ferramero has just, well, he's been playing since TS 2015, which is pretty good. That's 7 years. Another interesting thing he just found out was on the outside view, like you are now, you can press the left or right arrow to go down the length of the train. Is that one? Nope. Oop, speeding. Better take care of that before I take care of anything else. We've now reached the 40 zone anyway. To start with the dynamic braking now. I think I've got it. Yeah, a little bit too much, but yes. Need just the tiniest bit of dynamic braking. Ah. That's kind of cool. So if you combine that with a view like this one, going closer, alright, that's got the speed taken care of. That's a relatively smooth pan. It's a bit quick. Whee! Time to get seasick. It's got a tiny bit too much on dynamics at the moment. Slowing down a bit too much. Just wait and see what effect that has. Still slowing us down a little much. Just a tiny bit now though. Gradient's increasing. Should be okay. Welcome to proper daylight. So we've crested the summit and I've now gone on to dynamic braking to just maintain our control going down the hill. It is kind of cool, Ferramero. It works in this view too. It's just a little jerky, because it tries to bring you back to the height of each carriage. Oh, sorry, I thought I muted that. Too much talking. Not enough drinking. What view would a rail fan get? Apart from getting run over. I need to find myself a super giant panning trackball. A super smooth, high resolution one. I need one for video production anyway, but I think it'd actually be really good for the game. Not many trees in this part of the route. We're pretty close to the snow line, where the trees stop. So far our speed is relatively steady. BNSF Highline Subdivision Dispatcher to Amtrak Train 8, Lead Unit 161, that'd be us. BNSF SPLC SEA, Lead Unit 7621, is taking the siding at Bison. Moo. Subject to signal indications, you can expect to remain on the move. Dispatcher out. Well, we only remain on the move if I remember to hit that button. Flashy, flashy. But I think we kept it. There's no brakes going on. I'm going to have to come back on the dynamics a little, though. We're coming back into a slightly steeper gradient, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. We're actually doing quite well for time, too. I was a little concerned whether we'd get this one finished in the 2 hours or not, but it looks good. We will. Because my wife's currently at work, but she will be leaving there in 4 minutes' time. And it'll take her about 10 minutes to get here, and then we'll have to leave to go out to the family thing. It's the only reason I'm getting away with streaming today is because she's at work. Sorry, I was just reminding my adult kids that they have to be ready to go soon. Dwah! 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 See what happens when you're trying to do the right thing. Sigh. Alright. Release the Kraken. At least this time I don't have to build power to start moving. It'll just happen. Trying to get my munchkins organised. And I end up frying my alerter. Ooh. Ooh. exciting. Ooh, even more exciting. Need that one too? Oh. Can't do the blind though. Or does that go up and down with mine? Yeah, they're tied. Huh. Okay then. Looks like we're starting to move, but why are we going backwards? We're not going uphill, we're going downhill. What are you doing, train? I know it's not realistic to do that in Notch 8, but everyone needs to hear it occasionally. Are we doing another scenario after this one? No, because I would get my butt kicked. I am, however, streaming again tomorrow. And tomorrow we will be in a countryside remarkably like this, in that it's white, because we'll be in Bernina, in Switzerland. And we'll be streaming the new scenario pack from Rivet. Obviously easily amused because I like the shadows. Here's our friend that we're meeting. Looks like we're heading downhill again too. Back onto dynamics. Yeah, they've done the Bernina one quite well. That's a nice screenshot there, isn't it? They've done the Bernina scenario pack quite well because it... Ooh, hang on. Water. Let me get over there. Let me get over here. Can we see the train? Yes. Some things are just fun, aren't they? But they've done that pack quite well because... we'll talk about it tomorrow, obviously, but if you have the additional packs for the route, then you get a different set of scenarios to play than if you don't have the additional packs for the route. So they both show up there, but the advanced ones will only work if you've got the other content. Should be starting to leave now, I would have thought. We're well past the signals. Unless he's waiting for someone who's following us, which is quite possible, because there was another train that was going to come up behind us. And under 5 miles to Glacier Park. A little bit of trivia for you, that Glacier Park was lobbied for and partially funded by the Great Northern Railway that owned this line, because they were trying to make it as a destination for the Empire Builder. Which is pretty cool. Someone calling the dispatcher is obviously not listening. There they go. That's their response. Three miles to Glacier Park, which is where we'll be finishing today. What do you guys think about not having the 5-minute startup, by the way? I thought I'd experiment with just going straight into it and see what people think. I think when I'm featuring a new route, I'll still make a leader of some kind that shows a few of the features of the route. But I might play it after we go live before getting into the whole thing. Because from my perspective, the 5-minute startup means I have to be ready 5 minutes early. And then I sit here and I start that. And I tend to just sit here for 5 minutes and do nothing, which is not exciting. The only good thing about it is it helps to be that I actually see that the stream is up and running before I'm properly live. So this morning that was a little bit hectic, so I might make a maybe a 30-second version instead of the 15-second version that I ran this morning. Bit more braking. Be a bummer to stack the train now after coming this far. one of the people in the beta team sent me a very interesting article about braking heavily in curves. It was an accident investigation where a train had derailed. And the accident investigator concluded that the train was not actually going fast enough to derail in the curve, but the driver's reaction of going into emergency actually caused the derailment. And that was in answer to me saying a braking should never derail a train. But I still stand by that braking should never derail a train. Just come back into setup on the dynamics for a little while because we're slowing down a bit too much. In fact, we're still slowing down despite the fact we're going downhill. Which makes me wonder, is this brake handle fully released? No, it wasn't. It showed it was on the HUD, but it wasn't quite. Wish there was some smooth water near the bridge, but there's not. Train's lost in the trees. It's up there. Not far to go. I don't know if you heard that notification go off or not, but that was my wife being very unsubtle.
Yep.
Also worthy of a screenshot. Oop, stopped a bit early. Moa power. You gonna go forwards, train, or not? Come on. You can do it. Now, which cars should I put in the platform, given that they're not all going to fit? I guess I'll keep going forwards until everyone's off the bridge at least. Glacier Park Bridge is probably okay to leave them on because it's nice and wide. That'll do. In fact, that happens to be where it wants me to stop anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Glacier Park. You're getting off here. Please gather your belongings and your children, because if they're left behind, we will sell them. And I think that brings us to the end of the scenario. Where's a nice photo? Amtrak's Empire Builder has a long journey ahead with its final destination of Chicago, Illinois, more than 1,500 miles further east. But this scenario concludes here at Glacier Park. Cool bananas. And just in case that showed up in the screenshot, I'll take another one. Oh, just in time. Cool. Yeah, well, thank you for watching, folks. It's gotten to 10:30 here, and I have to leave in about 20 minutes or so, so I'm going to go get ready for that. Thank you very much for watching and joining in today. I appreciate it. And thank you to all of you for subscribing too, because reached the 500 mark this weekend, which is quite amazing. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. It lets me know that I'm kind of doing something right, that the account's growing, so good stuff. Anyway, we shall see people again tomorrow at the same time for some nice time in Switzerland on the Bernina route, which is a narrow gauge thing. It looks remarkably like a tram, but not quite. Or a trolley for the Americans. But anyway, it's a light rail. Have a very fun time, and we will see you next time. And I don't think I've got my new outro plumbed in, so thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I always like to get your feedback in the form of likes and comments because they help me understand what you want. Give the channel a subscribe and click on the tinkly things so you don't miss out on any new stuff. And thanks for your ongoing support. And please, be safe out there.